Welcome to the second part of SQL tutorial lessons. So let's start. We will start by three functions: count, summation, and average. The count function returns the number of rows that matches specified criteria. For example, what is the syntax of count? Select count. What is your column name? From table name where your condition. So to return is the number of rows that matches specified criteria. We will take one example for our tables. Our tables is select asterisk from AP invoices all. Let me compile to see what is the data. AP invoices all. As you see here, the data is this for the invoices of all suppliers. You see here the invoice ID, invoice number, vendor ID as a supplier ID, what is set of book like ledger ID, invoice amount, vendor site, amount paid, and so on. So in case of I need to make a query for count of invoice number, so I will put here select count, column name is invoice number underscore now, from table name AP underscore invoices all. You can put a condition or not. I will not put any condition. Let me try to execute. The count of invoice number is this number. So this is how to use count function. Let's go to the second function of average. Average function returns the average value of a numeric column. So in this case, you have to put a numeric column in this field. The syntax of average: select average of your column name from table where condition. Let's try to run and bring all of the columns of AP invoices all, and we will select a numeric column like amount paid or invoice amount. So select average of column name invoice underscore amount from AP underscore invoices all. Try to compile or execute. This is the average of invoice amount. In case of I put any other non-numeric column, for example invoice underscore num, let's try to compile. It is giving us error because this is not a numeric column. As you see here, invalid number, because we said for average you have to put a numeric column name. The third function here is sum. Sum function returns the total sum of a numeric column also. The syntax of sum: select some numeric column name from table where condition. So let's make the sum of invoice amount, select sum of our numeric column name, invoice underscore amount from table AB invoices all where condition. I will not put any condition. Let me try to compile. This is the summation of invoice amount column. Again, if you put here non-numeric column, it will not work because summation or average working with only numeric column name. Let's go to the second one, SQL like. Like operator is used in a where clause to search for a specified pattern in a column. There are two wildcards often used in conjunction with like operator, percentage and underscore. The percentage sign represents 0, 1 or multiple characters. Underscore sign represents one or single character. What is the syntax for like? Like syntax. Select column 1, 2, 3 from table where column 1 like pattern. So let us try to write actual. Select query, select invoice num, vendor ID from our table AB invoices all where invoice number or like. I will put either start by percentage or end by percentage or like a specific number. So let me try to put select all from AP invoices all, run this query. So I will select invoice number and vendor ID from AB invoices all where in invoice currency code like AAD, invoice currency underscore code like this currency. Try invoice currency code currency. It will select all invoice number and vendor ID where in invoice currency code like dirham. Also to check is it AD or any other currency, you can put also here to select the currency to check that the currency all is whatever we put it here. Another syntax here, you can write the same for like, but you will put here like as a percentage A. Percentage A means the SQL statement select all currency with currency code starting with A. Starting by A. So this select all invoice number, vendor ID, invoice currency code from this table where invoice currency code like A% or in the currency code start by A character. So let me try to compile. There is no A. Let me change it to capital. It's already came. Another one, the same. But I will put percentage D. So this will retrieve all of the invoice number and the vendor ID and the invoice currency code, where in the invoice currency code end by D character. So percentage character end by. Let me try to compile. It will bring the same. Or you will put the character between two percentage, so it will bring all of the invoice currency code wherein the invoice currency code include a character, either by starting or ending or in between. So if I run it, it will bring the same. So this is like for percentage. What about the underscore? I will take the same, go to next, under like by underscore. Underscore, that syntax is the same, select all from our table where invoice underscore num like both percentage or single quote underscore, for example R percentage single quote. So this SQL statement selects all from AB invoices, all where the invoice num have R in the second position, because I started by underscore then R. So let's try if there any invoice number like the second position is R or not. There are, if you check here, invoice number, the second one is R. This is the underscore like statement. The same I will write, but I will change here. So I will start by S, for example, like this, S and underscore. So in this case, SQL statement select all from AB invoices all where an invoice number started by S are at least 3 character in length. Here 2 character in length. Top 3 this 4 again. So let me try to select S second. So this is S, 1 space or at least 2 character in length. I will like start by S character. S, all of this S. So this is the like for underscore and percentage. Let's go to the other syntax, SQL in. In operator allows you to specify multiple values in a where clause. The in operator is a shorthand for multiple or conditions. The syntax, you are select column from table where column name in value 1, value 2, and so on. So we will write actual query, select all from our table where, for example, invoice number in 1, 2, 3. Let's try to check if there any invoice number with this number or not. Compile the invoice number in only this. In case of I need to select two values like this statement, let me select actual invoice number. I will select this, put it here, comma, single quote, invoice number, single quote. Again compile. It will bring both. If you click here to sorting, sending, our invoice is appearing here. So this is how to use in. It only select whatever you want only for these values. Let's go to another syntax, select or SQL between. Between operators select values within a given range. The values can be numbers, text, or dates. Between operator is inclusive, begin and end values are included. The syntax of between, select column from table name where column name between value 1 and value 2. Again, we will write actual syntax. We will select all from our AB invoices all table where invoice number between 1, 2, 3 and this number. So here select all from AP invoices all where invoice num between 1, 2, 3 and 99999. Let's try to compile to check. All of these invoices is between these two range 1, 2, 3 until 9999999. In case if you need to check another for vendor ID, I will where in the vendor underscore ID between 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try to compile all of the vendor ID between these two ranges. This is how to select by between syntax. Go to other one, SQL aliases. SQL aliases are used to give in a table or a column in a table a temporary name. Aliases are often used to make column names more readable. An alias only exists for the duration of that query. An alias is created with the as keyword. The syntax of alias syntax: select column name from table you can put here column name as column alias name. For example, select invoice underscore num as invoice number from our table AB invoices all. So here the syntax or this query will select or retrieve invoice number by the name invoice number as an alias from AB invoices all. Select invoice number. It replaced the invoice num actual column in this table by invoice number, and so on. Select vendor or invoice currency underscore code as currency from AB underscore invoices all. Try to execute currency. So the name of the column changed from invoice underscore currency code to currency because we put as syntax. Go to other SQL, the SQL union. Union operator is used to combine the result set of two or more select statements. Every select statement with union must have the same number of columns. The columns must also have similar data type. The columns in every select statement must also be in the same order. The syntax of union: select column name from table 1 union select column name from table 2. What is our tables here? AB invoices underscore all and BO underscore vendors. These as suppliers tables and these supplier invoices tables. We will select the vendor ID from both tables. So we will select vendor underscore ID from BO underscore vendors union select vendor underscore ID from AB invoices all. So as we said that the two columns must have the same data types, either text or date or numbers, and select statement with union must have the same number of columns. Here put one column. The second statement you have also put one column. If you put 2 or 3 or 4, the same you have to put it in the second statement. Let me try to execute. It select all the vendor ID from both of tables. There are union all. The union all operators selects only distinct values by default. To select only distinct values by default, you have to put union. To allow duplicate values, you have to select union all. So here it retrieves only the distinct values because we put union. If you check the record count here, 39,000, because there are 39,000 as a distinct for these two tables. In case of you need to retrieve all duplicate values, close, you will put union all. Try to select, execute, check the record, you will find 200,000. So this is the difference between union only and union all. Union for distinct values by default, union all to allow duplicate values to retrieve. Go to second or the next SQL group by. Group by statement groups rows that have the same values into summary rows. Like find the number of vendors in each country. The group by statement is often used aggregate functions like count, max, minimum, summation, average to group the result set by one or more columns. The syntax of SQL group by: select column name from table where condition group by column name. You can also put order by column name. So let me try to write actual query. Select count of invoice underscore num and currency from AB underscore invoices all group by currency. Here invoice underscore currency code, and here the same group by invoice currency code. Try to compile. It's grouped by the invoice currency. For USD there are count of invoice number 88, GBP, BKR, AED, and so on. This is how to group by, so that you have to mention or used with aggregate functions like count, average, summation, minimum, maximum to group the result set by one or more columns. Let's go to the next SQL. There is SQL having. The having clause was added to SQL because the where keyword cannot be used with aggregate functions. What is the syntax of having? Select column name from table where condition. You can group by also column name having condition. So how to write actual query? Select the same count of our column invoice underscore num and invoice currency code from our table AB invoices all, group by invoice currency code, then having count of invoice number underscore number more than 1000. Try to execute. Invoice number is wrong. Try for the dirham or the currency code. This is the count of invoice number more than 1000 for the currency of dirham. In case of change it to less than and execute again, there are dirham is not showing because dirham is more than 1000. This is SQL of having syntax. The next one is select exist. SQL, go to new tab, SQL exists. Exists operator is used to test for the existence of any record in a subquery. Exists operator returns true if the subquery returns one or more records. You will select column name from table name where exists and write the subquery. Select column name from table where condition. So I will select from our two tables, select and go to write actual query. Select vendor underscore ID from BO vendors where exists and write the subquery. Select invoice underscore num from our second table where AP invoices BO vendors underscore dot vendor underscore ID equal AB invoices all dot vendor underscore ID. Let me do it. So select vendor ID from BO vendors tables where exists. Select invoice number. The subquery is select invoice number from AB invoices all where vendor ID of PO vendors equal vendor ID of AB invoices all. Execute. Vendor ID is wrong. AP invoices all dot vendor underscore ID. Vendor ID BE vendors invoice number BO vendors AP invoices, there is one N. Again execute. This is the vendor ID. So I select all vendor ID from PO vendors where that in the invoice number from AB invoices all in the vendor ID of PO vendors equal vendor ID of AB invoices all. This is how to use exist SQL. Second one is SQL any and all operators. SQL any and all operators allow you to perform a comparison between a single column value and a range of other values. For example, any operator returns a Boolean values as a result, returns true if any of the subquery values meet the condition. Any operators means that the conditions will be true if the operator is true for any of the values in the range. Any syntax, select column name from table name where column name operator any and write subquery, select column name from table name where condition. So for example, select and the operators may be more, for example, more than, less than, equal, not equal, or, and so on. For the select all operator, all operator returns a Boolean values as a result, returns true if all of the subquery values meet the condition. Is used with select, where, and having statements. All means that the condition will be true only if the operation is true for all values in the range. How to write? Syntax for all operator, select all column name from table name where condition. So you can also write all syntax with where or having. So the syntax, you will select column name from table name where column name operator all, select column name from table where condition. So the operator must be a standard comparison operators like equal or not equal, less than, more than, and so on. This is the comparison between all operator and any. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your comments and subscription.